The following is a fan-based review. The only content that is mine is my opinion. I do not have written approved consent of the NFL. I was late to the game with Mass Effect. After the internet gave it so much attention with comics, screen caps, and other internet stuff, I decided to give it a shot. Within 10 minutes of playing, it was already my favorite game. From the very start, it had a very good feel to it, and I knew right away it had a high replay value. But something set this game apart. I knew I would like any game where you go planet to planet, but just being in space doesn't automatically make it a good game. Like any successful game, Mass Effect doesn't do any one thing better, but the whole game is just put together in the right way so it doesn't feel repetitive toward the end of the first playthrough. When will this end? A great game needs a great hero, and this one can vary by each playthrough, with different looks, classes, backstories, even choices made throughout the game. I need to put an asterisk by looks and backstories because they are limited. While character creation is cool, most of the faces seem odd, and any modifications seem like the start screen in Super Mario 64. If you're gonna have character creation, why not have modifications to the stock face, which basically everyone used? Seriously, I can't give Shepard a mohawk, or unlock a skull or something after I finish a playthrough? You could learn a few things from Tony Hawk's Underground. I mean, I know there's a certain tone to the game, but how about some goofy unlockables, or even cool unlockables after certain playthroughs? In SSX Tricky you could unlock Master, which looked like a Silver Surfer guy. Why not do something like that? Games always used to have cheats or unlockables, why not work them into the achievements? There's an achievement in Mass Effect 1 for playing the majority of the game with a Turian companion, so have that achievement unlock the ability to play as a Turian in the next playthrough. Same for Krogan, Quarian, there's even one for Kaidan. Yay.
Only one who's talking to you, Joker.
I also put an asterisk by Shepard's varying backstories and personal backgrounds, because while who we later meet as Udina narrates in this opening scene,
He saw his whole unit die on a cruise. He could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
it teases that these backgrounds are going to be a bigger part of the game, but isn't really used that much. Each choice has a corresponding mini-mission that isn't much more than a conversation, but the Soul Survivor backstory is a real missed opportunity, because it's Cerberus related and not really referenced that much in Mass Effect 2.
Environment, no parents. You enlisted and you survived a Thresher Maw attack that wiped out the rest of your team. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was Cerberus, asshole. A variation that does deliver is the different classes. Basically, each class has a different combination of powers used in the game, plus you get one bonus power or weapon training. I do find it odd that because someone has biotic powers, she apparently doesn't have any idea how to use a shotgun. The actual character of Commander Shepard, wait, what is his first name? Oh, the save file, that's clever. Well, I assume Shepard is a nod to the first American in space, Alan Shepard, so there. And the NPC's using of a last name basis is pretty easy for dialogue.
Shepard.
Shepard's a
Shepard.
So the character can vary a little bit, from a cliché Captain America.
You have the right to your opinion, Mr. Saraceno, but with all due respect, I disagree with it.
To an arrogant ass.
Why do I have to make a choice? Maybe the three of us could,
But really, many of the dialogue choices aren't too cringy, specifically the blue or red options unlocked through Paragon and Renegade choices.
Is that what you want for your people?
This isn't the first game with dialogue choices, but it's my first game with this dynamic, and it was pretty refreshing to have at least some option in how the character acts. I certainly would have liked different dialogue options in Far Cry 3.
I'm not strong enough to get them out.
All those options aside, Shepard still needs to be a good character, and you may say each choice is what makes a character, and that's true for the most part, but remember, however you play, the character is going through the same experiences. So at the base of everything, we have a commander with a reputation amongst their troops.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself on a cruise. Everybody knows what you can do.
Shepard is taken under the wing of a Spectre, which looks promising until he's killed. All of Shepard's choices are put through the constant questioning of the Council,
Do you have any idea what you've done?
and is betrayed by his own ambassador.
It's just politics, Commander. You've done your job, now let me do mine.
On top of all of that, the whole galaxy seems to be against him.
I showed them the truth and they still won't believe.
You see, this kind of opposition is in plenty of 80s action movies, where authority figures are supposedly on your side but make the wrong choices, so Shepard's character is very similar to John McClane, who has authority figures against him,
You just destroyed a building. Now we do not want your help.
An ally in the middle of everything offering support.
So you hang in there, man. You hear me? You hang in there.
I know you're pissed off right now, but you can't give up. They all think this is over, but we both know it's not.
He cares about the people around him,
You made your point, let him pull back!
but has plenty of renegade moments.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Now, I don't want to say that what the character says has no value to who the character is. Again, Far Cry 3's Jason was way too whiny. But no matter what Shepard's backstory or choices or gender, Shepard goes against the whole galaxy dealing with every choice question.
Do you have any idea what you've done? How many generations until they overrun the galaxy?
And even things that wasn't his choice are still apparently his fault.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin.
A strong character can be a hero or an anti-hero, but what makes a character strong is what they go through to save everyone. The exact phrasing of what the character says isn't as important as how they say it. The lines may be corny at times, but Paragon and Renegade Shepard both have confidence.
I'm not happy.
Sounds like a fairly common situation.
Class? Who gives a shit about class?
No matter what variations are made by the player, Shepard is a strong character. Well, maybe he has a little issue ending a conversation.
I should go. I should go. I should go. I have to go.
Now the crew. A good video game trait for an ally would be, not useless.
I'm itching for some real action.
No, I said not useless, come on. Well, here's Nihilus, he seems pretty cool. I bet he'll be a really cool mentor throughout the game. Oh, damn it! Alright, I hope no one else I meet today dies. No one else. Okay? So the supporting cast of Mass Effect is actually pretty supportive, providing biotics or tech powers or just being a bullet sponge. Starting with Rex, he's a character that most video game characters really need to learn from. While other Krogan are generally depicted as bad guys, Rex offers a different view on the Krogan species. If you kill Fisk before meeting Rex, he'll inform you that you did the job for him, and he'll actually give you his pay for it.
Finish this job, Shepard. You did. So the payment is yours.
Oh, well, that's very noble of you, Rex. You don't exactly look like the kind of guy that would do that. Oh god, no. That didn't come out right.
It's not racism, not really.
Rex is also pretty casual about the slow genocide of his entire species.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Seeing Rex as a different Krogan is exactly why you need to make sure Williams keeps it holstered on Virmire.
No!
It's not racism, not really. They must have come.
Ash is an annoyingly jealous soldier who claims to be completely by the book, except for fraternization with a commanding officer, bursting out during team meetings,
Who put you in charge?
and showing disgust for alien allies in your own crew.
It's not racism, not really.
I heard you the first time, Ash, so you're super gung-ho and anti-alien because your grandfather fought in the Turian First Contact War. So really, that's why you hate aliens?
Okay, this isn't helping us find Saren or the conduit.
Yeah, alright, one more outburst like that and I'm saving Kaidan.
Damn, I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
Kaidan is weak, dies all the time because he has no armor, no weapons training, but he's my second in command. I find it odd that because someone has biotic powers, they have no idea how to fire a rifle, even after being enlisted in the armed forces. If Kaidan is good for something, it is being a good decryption bitch. He can level up his decryption and electronics so he can unlock doors, and unlock things, and repair the Mako. I mean, Garrus, Kaidan, and Tali could do these things but had very little armor. I assume it was intentional to force you to balance the powers of your squad, but technically we should be able to bring the whole squad with us, right? I mean, if we're saving the galaxy, we have a better chance if there's 6 of us instead of, 3. Garrus is the reason the game needs free roam after you defeat Saren. I mean, think about it. Garrus quit the space police so he could join up with Shepard and go on a galactic anti-crime rampage. There's the drug lord bases, Dr. Hart, Helena Blake. But you're fighting crime across the galaxy when there's something of a sense of urgency, because Saren is supposed to be achieving his goals right now, right?
We'll find him. Just make sure you're ready to go when we do.
You might not find him if you're chasing across this organ harvester here. Unfortunately, Garrus doesn't develop his badassery until Mass Effect 2. For now, he's just a decryption bitch that dies pretty easily. Tali is found on her pilgrimage, which is the Quarian version of the Amish's Rumspringa, which I find kind of funny because Quarians are the most tech-savvy race in the galaxy, the exact opposite of the Amish. Quarians are a good example of some creativity when designing new alien races. I love the idea that being bound to sterile ships has pretty much killed their immune systems, to the point where they might not even be able to handle a vaccine. So maybe the Quarian anti-vaxxer movement might actually, mean something. Liara is a space archaeologist who is trying to discover how an ancient race suddenly vanished from the whole galaxy. The Fermi Paradox tells us that this is arguably the most important job in any spacefaring civilization. If you don't know the Fermi Paradox, look it up, there's a few good videos, but basically it suggests that there could be a great barrier that stops all life from passing a certain spot. Maybe it's behind us and we're rare, or maybe it's ahead of us and we're doomed. So Liara is supposed to be figuring out if the Protheans were killed off by the Great Barrier, a decision they made, or a super predator race. The Council pretty much dismisses any claim of the Reapers.
The Reapers are obviously just a myth, Commander.
Think about it, they sent a Spectre to investigate a beacon, but only one grad student to investigate a known dig site?
I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
Wait, did she say 50?
But among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child.
Whoa, hold up, Shepard. Okay, so in Mass Effect, humans have a max lifespan of 150. And today, scientists estimate the max lifespan without genetic modifying to be 125 years. But let's go with 150. Compared to 1,000 years for Asari, Liara's 108 would come out to be 16 for humans. Shepard, stay away until she's 120. Shepard, no, don't do it. Shepard, no, don't. Seriously, don't do it. Stop, no! The crew might be the most celebrated aspect of Mass Effect. Just walking around the ship and talking to people. Hey, Seth Green is a pilot, that's cool. Is that why Robot Chicken hasn't done anything on Mass Effect?
1500 is good.
Anyway, talking to anyone on the crew is something you can do even when it's, your second, third, or fourth time playing the game. Or 5th or 8th. Actually, Splinter Cell Blacklist tries to imitate this dynamic on the Paladin. You get talking to characters, and the SMI is a dead ringer for the Galaxy map. Every sci-fi protagonist needs a cool ship that differs a little bit from the stock ship that everyone else in the galaxy has. The best feature is easily the Galaxy map. BioWare knew it would be great because it was great when Star Fox 64 did it. The Galaxy map lets you explore, look at descriptions of different planets, land on those planets, wipe out whoever's there, and take all the resources. Basically, you're a space Viking. What's better is how all the stuff is just side quests, and you can do however many you want. But even the campaign isn't strictly linear. The Council just kinda lets you do whatever you want.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities.
Really, the main villain is Sovereign, but we need a more tangible villain. A bad guy that's easy to identify and follow as we try and figure out what's really at stake here. So we get Saren. It's tough for an antagonist to be a 2-kilometer-tall self-aware spaceship. For reference, the tallest building on Earth is the Burj Khalifa, only about 0.829 kilometers. So Sovereign is pretty big. Wait, if Saren uses Sovereign as a ship, how does he even get around? That ship is huge.
Ship is too big. If I walk, the movie will be over.
So we have our nice, identifiable, humanoid villain, who we see betray our mentor, set bombs on peaceful Eden Prime, and throw a Kylo Ren-style tantrum. Wait a minute, how big is the blast radius of those bombs? If they're placed so close together, did Saren just think we only had to disarm 3, so we put 4? I mean, either just put one big bomb, or spread them out farther so, we can't disable them in time. So we see Saren do bad stuff so we don't like him, and as an added bonus...
He hates humans.
Okay, he doesn't like humans, that's convenient. I'm a human, he doesn't like me. And we need Saren because it's easy to see him do bad things, and the Council agrees...
Saren is a threat we can recognize.
If we didn't have Saren, we would be chasing around a giant ship all over the galaxy, and we wouldn't really know what it wants or what's going on.
What is its motivation?
Without Saren, Sovereign would be the main bad guy, and Eden Prime would be him shooting lasers everywhere. We wouldn't know why, we wouldn't know what it is. There would just be too many unanswered questions to even make sense. So really we would need this Vermeer scene early on to explain everything.
It's an actual Reaper.
We are eternal, the pinnacle of evolution.
And that's why... Wait. Okay, him shifting around like that with the plain backdrop, it looks exactly like the Spirit of Truth videos. You know, the guy that was on Tosh that one time?
Wait, you ain't hear me, huh? You get it again, okay, I'm gonna say it again. I come in the name of Jesus.
So, think about Harry Potter. We don't see Voldemort until the end of the movie. We obviously know he's the real bad guy, but he can't really do anything because he's on the back of this guy's head. So in the meantime, we have more tangible villains like that asshole in junior high and mean teacher. Saren isn't quite that simple, but it's easy to want to fight him. Even better, you get to learn more about his motivations, that he's simply trying to avoid extinction, but being brainwashed by Sovereign on top of that. It's refreshing to see a villain that's conflicted by their own actions, and you get the option to let them redeem themselves. It felt pretty unique.
That's not a hostage.
But because we need a boss fight, Sovereign zaps him anyway, and you get to fight a Saren-Sovereign hybrid thing. I'm a little unclear on this part. Did Sovereign tie its life force to Saren's body, or just its shields?
Its shields are down. Now's our chance.
Why does Sovereign get weak after Saren gets killed? Did Sovereign know this was a risk? If so, then it was a stupid move, an arrogant risk just to kill Shepard and 2 of his crew. Exploring the Citadel lets you actually look at alien races and learn their culture and history.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you.
You get to see a few interesting species, but it's implied that there are many more.
The Council represents more races than I thought.
The Citadel has a very adventurous feel to it. Just exploring the Citadel was fun. Looking for keepers, doing that sting operation, even barging into this extremely personal conversation.
I'm not undergoing the treatments.
Not to mention Sha'ira. I'm not sure if BioWare tried to make her sound like a prostitute, or tried not to and failed.
My specialty is touch.
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, the Sha'ira mission, her mission seems unfinished to me. I'm not sure if it was a time crunch or disk space or whatever, but let's look at it. If you talk to Sha'ira and Septimus and the Elcor and the embassies, she is very grateful.
Very grateful.
And with her gratitude, she will give you a trinket but doesn't know what it means. And you might be thinking, oh cool, mysterious side quest, maybe something cool will be revealed. Well, if you diligently go through all the uncharted planets, you'll find a Prothean artifact here, and you see the little cookie parentheses thingies, like, oh cool, this must be a thing. By the way, I've definitely forgotten about the trinket at this point. This mysterious secret is a text box? Now, I'm sure the developers wanted a scene here, and there must be some kind of limitation that prevented it, but this would have been a really cool cutscene. The text describes how Shepard has a flashback and he can perfectly comprehend, unlike the beacon for some reason. And in this vision, he's a caveman, and he sees a Prothean ship, and it's observing progress on Earth, and they decide that humans are not yet advanced enough, so they leave. This would have been a great scene, but instead we get 3 text boxes. And that's not the only time. You get one here on the moon, and text box, text box, text box, text box, text box, text box, another text box, text box, text, text, text. It's not the only way you see the game limitations. Slow elevators, they're loading screens. Every time you go in an elevator or in a different room of the ship, you gotta go through one of these, and it's just a loading screen going through the next area. Making Udina a jerk is pretty easy.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres.
But making him an apolitical politician means that developers actually tried not to put their political views into the game. Maybe you can find a metaphor in the Genophage or in other places in the game, but they very could have easily given Udina political views close to a specific political party. Instead, they made him apolitical, simply making Udina a politician who only cares about advancing himself.
And with my help, of course.
I really like how they don't make the bad guy politician lean left or right, giving Udina an obvious political opinion. Even if you agree with hate on a certain side, it's something of a sucker punch. Take a look at the movie State of Play. Jeff Daniels plays a congressman you're not supposed to like, and he casually drops this line.
Never use the Lord's name in vain with me.
Now, in general, you can assume a highly Christian congressman would hint that he's a Republican. Therefore, you would be rooting against the Republicans in this film. Maybe you would do this anyway, maybe you wouldn't. But remember, this is a fictional story. If it were a real story based on a real congressman who made a mistake we should learn from, Republican or Democrat, by all means, show us what this government employee did. Udina is a fictional character, and this sort of thing could have been done to him to hint at what party he'd represent. It wouldn't have been hard. They could have given him a stance on abortion, or universal health care, or weapons of mass effect destruction in space Iraq, or having an affair with the embassy receptionist. But the developers thankfully stay above all of that and keep Udina non-party specific so everyone can hate him. Something else to bear in mind is this does take place almost 150 years in the future. By that time, America's current top two parties may not even exist. There could be two completely different parties running things with each of their party's beliefs, grabbing a few from the left and a few from the right. Remember that with the exception of George Washington, America has always been a two-party system, but not always run by Republicans and Democrats. Anyone remember the Federalists and Anti-Federalists? Or the Whig Party? We have no idea what politics will become in 150 years, but we can be pretty certain that both major parties will have representatives that only care about furthering their own career.
There are serious political implications here, Shepard.
Overall, the game had a great feel to it. Even the character setup had a very ominous and classic science fiction feel to it. Mass Effect has an adventurous feel and giving you free rein to explore the galaxy and meet alien life that isn't all humanoid either. On top of that, you get to choose what missions to do in what order. That's pretty cool.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities.
However, there is one issue I noticed about the ending.
If Saren finds the conduit, we're all screwed. We have to go to Ilos.
No, you don't. I mean, if he goes to Ilos, he gets the conduit, which takes him back to the Citadel, which is where you're trapped, and your crew. So you could have just sat here and waited for him to get there, and then bam, you do the same exact mission at the end.
Maybe you're right.
It's things like that that I wonder about Andromeda coming out soon. Are they gonna fix some of the loopholes? Are they gonna keep the adventurous feel that we liked about Mass Effect 1? Are they gonna keep some of the changes that they made in 2 and 3? And there's also things that you have no control over, or hopefully you don't. There's this one thing, every time I see Administrator Analeas, I always hear the Amadeus song in my head. But other than that, I loved the game. I mean, if I get Alzheimer's disease, I hope I have a little post-it note telling me to play this, that way I can experience it for the first time all over again. I mean, think about it. You get to be a combination of Space James Bond, Space Indiana Jones, and Zap Brannigan.
I did make it with a hot alien babe. And in the end, is that not what man has dreamt of since first he looked up at the stars?
In your dreams, Commander.